I always believed that
The
perseverance
ocean was the color
key,
of slate that
and this
morning.
is exactly
I
what
stood on the
happened
deck,
next.
watching waves
Trust
fold
me,
against
you'll
the
never
shore,
believe how it all
coffee
played
going
out.
cold in my hand. March in North Carolina meant the beach belonged to locals again. No crowds, no rental families, hauling coolers, just the rhythm of water and wind. I'd bought this cottage 8 months earlier. 1,200 square feet, 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom. Nothing fancy. The previous owners had painted everything white walls, ceiling, trim. I left it that way. After 32 years in a firehouse, sleeping in rooms full of men, I wanted simplicity, clean lines, space that didn't demand anything from me. The cottage sat on a quarter-acre lot, 1 street back from the beach, close enough to hear the waves at night, far enough that storm surge wouldn't take it. I'd checked. Firefighters learn to read risk. I retired at 63. My pension wasn't generous, but I'd saved carefully. No debts, no dependents. My ex-wife remarried 15 years ago. Our daughter lived in Seattle with her own family. We talked twice a month. Good relationship. Boundaries respected on both sides. The cottage cost less than I expected. Foreclosure sale. The bank wanted it gone. I paid cash, had the inspection done properly, hired contractors to fix the roof and replace the water heater. By June, I moved in. Bought furniture from estate sales. Learned to cook actual meals instead of station house chili. Started running on the beach each morning.
It was at that very moment I realized
People ask
the
what I do all
importance
day.
of taking that
I tell
first
them
step, no matter
whatever
how
I want.
small.
Read.
It changed
Run.
everything.
Drive to the hardware store for projects I don't need. Talk to the neighbor's dog. Sit on the deck and watch pelicans. 32 years of shift work. Holidays missed. Breathing smoke. Pulling people from burning buildings. I earned this peace. My sister called in September. Lisa, 2 years younger. We grew up in Ohio. Stayed close despite distance. She married Rick 24 years ago. He sold insurance in Charlotte. Made decent money. They had 3 kids. All adults now. Tommy, the cottage sounds perfect, she said. Rick and I should visit. Anytime, I said. Guest rooms ready. They came for a weekend in October. Lisa helped me organize the kitchen. Rick spent most of the time on his phone, checking emails. Their youngest, Madison, had just gotten engaged. Their middle son, Brandon, worked in tech. Their oldest, Tyler, was between jobs. Tyler's having a rough time, Lisa mentioned Saturday evening. We sat on the deck while Rick napped inside. Got laid off from the manufacturing plant. Can't find anything that pays the same. Economy's tough, I said. He's living with us again. 26 years old, back in his childhood room. Temporary? Supposed to be. She sipped her wine. You know how it is. Kids these days can't afford apartments. Everything costs too much. I nodded. I didn't say that when I was 26. I had my own apartment, a wife, and a job. Different times. They left Sunday afternoon. Lisa hugged me. We should do this more often. Doors open, I said. November passed quietly. I replaced the deck boards that had rotted, painted the trim. The neighbor, Mrs. Chen, brought me Chinese leftovers twice. I fixed her porch railing in return. Rick called the first week of December. Tom, got a minute? I was sanding cabinet doors in the garage. What's up? So Tyler's still struggling. Job market's brutal. He's applied everywhere. Tough situation. Thing is, he can't afford rent right now. We're helping, but it's not sustainable. I waited. You've got that extra bedroom, Rick said. Place is empty most of the time. Tyler could stay there for a few months. Get on his feet. You wouldn't even notice him. I set down the sandpaper. No. What? I said no. Tom, come on. It's family. Rick, I bought this place to live alone. I'm not running a boarding house. It's not. Look, he's your nephew. He needs help. There are a lot of things Tyler needs. Living in my house isn't one of them. Jesus, Tom, you've got the space. Why are you being difficult? I'm not being difficult. I'm saying no. Lisa said you'd understand. She said you were family-oriented. I am. That's why I'm being clear now instead of creating problems later. No. He paused. I heard typing. He was probably drafting an email while we talked. Fine, he said. Forget I asked. He hung up. I called Lisa that evening, told her about the conversation. "Oh, Tommy," she sighed. "He shouldn't have asked like that. But you knew he was going to. He mentioned it. I told him it was your decision. Did you tell him I'd say yes?" She hesitated. "I said you had the space. That's all. Lisa, I love you. I love your kids. But I'm not offering my home. I worked 32 years for this. I'm not negotiating about it." "I understand," she said quietly. "Rick's just stressed. Tyler's situation is hard on everyone." We talked about other things. Christmas plans, her book club, the weather. When we hung up, I felt the conversation sitting wrong, like a knot in rope. December 20th, Rick called again. "Tom, I need to apologize." "Okay, I was out of line. Your house, your rules. I get it. Appreciate that. But here's the thing. Tyler's really desperate. Can't make rent, credit cards maxed out. He interviewed for something in Wilmington, 20 minutes from you. If he could crash at your place during the interview process, just a week or two." "No, Rick. Come on, you're not even using the room. Why are you being so selfish about this?" "I'm not selfish. I'm retired. I live alone by choice." "Choice? You don't have a wife, Tom. No girlfriend. What are you doing that's so important you can't help your own nephew?" I felt the heat rise, controlled it. "Rick, this conversation is over. You know what? Lisa was wrong about you. You're not family-oriented. You're a selfish old man hiding at the beach because you couldn't handle real life." I hung up, didn't call Lisa. Figured she'd call me. She did, 2 hours later. "Tommy, I'm so sorry. Rick told me what he said. That was unacceptable." It was. He's just frustrated. Tyler's depression is getting worse. We don't know what to do. "Lisa, I sympathize. But I already said no, twice." "I know. I'm not asking you to change your mind. I just want you to know we're dealing with a lot. Rick's not himself. None of that changes my answer." "I understand. We didn't talk about Christmas plans this time." January 3rd, I was replacing the kitchen faucet when someone knocked. I opened the door and found Tyler standing there with 2 duffel bags. "Hey, Uncle Tom." I looked past him. Rick's truck sat in my driveway, engine running. He waved from the driver's seat. "Tyler, what are you doing here?" "Dad said you agreed to let me stay for a while." "I didn't agree to anything." Tyler's face went pale. "What?" Rick got out of the truck, walked up. "Tom, can we talk inside?" "No. Tyler, I'm sorry, but I never agreed to this. Your father asked twice. I said no both times." "Dad?" Tyler looked between us. "Tom, don't do this," Rick said quietly. "He's already here. His stuff's packed. We drove 2.5 hours. That's not my problem." I was clear. "Just for a few weeks. He'll be quiet. You won't even know he's here." "No." Tyler picked up his bags. "Dad, you said he agreed." "He's being difficult," Rick said. "Tom, this is family." "Rick, this is trespassing. Get off my property." "Jesus Christ. You really are a selfish bastard. Leave. Now. Or I call the police." Rick stared at me. Tyler was already walking back to the truck. "Lisa's going to hear about this," Rick said. "I expect she will." They left. I went inside, locked the door, sat at the kitchen table. My hands were shaking. Not from anger, from the violation. He tried to force it. Drove the kid here assuming I'd cave. Lisa called that night. "Tommy, what happened?" I told her. Everything. "Oh my God," she whispered. "He said you'd changed your mind. He told Tyler you called and offered." "I didn't." "I believe you. Tommy, I am so sorry." "Lisa," Rick lied to his own son. Used him as leverage. That's manipulation. "I know. I'm furious. We're fighting about it." "This isn't your fault." "I feel like it is. I told Rick you had space. I shouldn't have." "You didn't do this." "He did." "We talked for an hour." She cried. Said she didn't know what was happening to her husband. Said Tyler was devastated. Embarrassed. I felt bad for the kid. He was caught in the middle. I thought that was the end. It wasn't. February 11th. I got home from the grocery store and found the front door unlocked. I always lock it. Always. I went inside carefully. Called out. No answer. The The guest bedroom door was open. Someone had been there. The bed was unmade. Clothes in the closet. Men's sneakers by the dresser. My heart rate spiked. I checked the rest of the house. Nothing else disturbed. Back door still locked. Only the front. I called the police. They sent an officer. Young guy, polite, took photos, wrote a report. Any idea who? He asked. I think my nephew. His father has access to my spare key. You gave him a key? No. But I keep one under the deck for emergencies. He visited in October. He might have seen it. You should change the locks. I will. Want to press charges? Not yet. Let me talk to my family first. He left me his card. I called Lisa. No answer. Called Rick. Straight to voicemail. Drove to the hardware store. Bought new locks. Spent 3 hours installing them. Found the spare key missing from under the deck. Rick called the next morning. Tom, we need to talk. You broke into my house. I used the key. That's not breaking in. You took my key without permission. That's theft. You entered my home without permission. That's trespassing. Tyler needed a place. You weren't even home. Rick, he can't stay there. He's already set up. He's got job interviews in Wilmington. Just a few weeks. Get him out today, or I'm calling the police. You wouldn't. Watch me. I hung up. Called the police officer from yesterday. Explained the situation. You want us to remove him? He asked. Yes. We'll send someone this afternoon. They came at 2. 2 officers. Knocked on my door. I let them in. Tyler was in the guest room. He opened the door, saw the uniforms, went white. Sir, you need to leave this property, the first officer said. But my dad said, this is the homeowner. He's asked you to leave. You need to gather your belongings and go. Tyler looked at me. Uncle Tom, please. I have nowhere to go. You have your parents' house. They don't want me there. Dad said I had to make this work or figure it out myself. That hit different. Rick had used me, but he'd also trapped his own son. Tyler, I'm sorry, but I didn't agree to this. Your father lied to both of us. He started crying. 26 years old, standing in my guest room crying. The officers helped him pack. Took 40 minutes. He didn't have a car. I asked if he had someone to call. I'll figure it out, he said. After he left, I called Lisa again. Still no answer. I texted her. Rick broke into my house. Tyler was living here without permission. Police removed him. Call me. She called within minutes. Tommy, I swear I didn't know. Rick told me Tyler found a room with friends. I had no idea he did this. Lisa, this is beyond disrespectful. This is criminal. I know. I'm filing for separation. I can't be married to someone who does this. That stopped me. Lisa, I don't want to cause. You're not causing anything. This is who Rick is. I've been ignoring it for years. The manipulation, the lying, the financial decisions he makes without telling me. This is the breaking point. Where's Tyler? Sitting in a McDonald's parking lot. I'm driving down to get him. He's moving back home with me. Rick can leave.
And that's when I
Lisa,
realized
Tommy,
the key wasn't about
thank
working
you for not
harder,
pressing charges,
but about working
for
smarter.
Tyler's sake.
It
I wasn't
shifted
going
my
to hurt
entire
him.
perspective.
He's the victim here too. I know. I'll call you later. I thought it was finished. Rick would leave Lisa alone. Tyler would get help. I'd change my locks and move on. I was wrong about Rick. March 2nd, I got a call from Adult Protective Services. Mr. Hayes? This is Karen Mitchell from APS. We received a report about your living conditions. My stomach dropped. What kind of report? Anonymous. Claims you're living in unsafe conditions, possibly unable to care for yourself. We need to do a home visit. This is harassment. Sir, we're required to investigate all reports. Can you meet with me tomorrow? Fine. What time? 10 a.m.? I'll be here. She came with a clipboard and a concerned expression. Mid-50s. Efficient. Walked through my house. Checked the kitchen, bathroom, bedrooms. Everything looks clean, she said, because I'm capable of taking care of myself. The report claimed you were confused, forgetting to eat, possibly experiencing cognitive decline. Did the report mention I'm 64, retired from the fire department, and ran 5 miles this morning? She smiled slightly. No. Who do you think filed this? My brother-in-law. We're in a dispute. Over what? He wants his son to live here rent-free. I said no. He broke into my house and moved him in anyway. I had police remove the son. This is retaliation. She wrote notes. Do you have documentation? Police report from the trespassing. Officer's card. Phone records of me refusing his requests. Good. Keep those. I'll close this case as unfounded, but if he files again, it creates a pattern. You might need a restraining order. I'm considering it. She left. I called my lawyer. Not a family lawyer, my estate attorney. Guy who did my will when I retired. Tom, you need someone who handles restraining orders, he said. But I can refer you. What's going on? I explained everything. Okay, he said slowly. Here's what you do. Document every contact, every call, text, visit. Get a security system with cameras. File for a restraining order against Rick. And consider a protective trust. What's that? Puts your assets in a trust that can't be challenged easily. If Rick escalates to claiming you're incompetent and tries to take control of your finances or property, the trust protects you. Jesus. You think he'd go that far? Tom, he already filed a false APS report. People who do that don't stop. They escalate. I hired the restraining order lawyer. Filed paperwork that week. Had to attend a hearing. Rick showed up with his own lawyer. The judge listened to both sides. Reviewed the police report, the APS closure letter, my phone records. Mr. Hayes clearly stated his refusal multiple times, the judge said. The subsequent entry into his home and false APS report constitute harassment. Restraining order granted. Mr. Foster, you are not to contact Mr. Hayes directly or indirectly. No phone calls, emails, texts, or third-party messages. No visits to his residence. Violation will result in contempt charges. Do you understand? Yes, Your Honor, Rick said quietly. I installed security cameras that weekend. Front door, back door, driveway. Cost $800. Worth every penny. Lisa called regularly. She'd moved Rick out. Filed divorce papers. Tyler was living with her. Seeing a therapist. Working part-time at Home Depot. How's he doing? I asked. Better. He's angry at his father. Understands. You were right. I never wanted to hurt him. He knows. He wants to apologize to you, but he's afraid. Tell him he's welcome to call me when he's ready. April brought a surprise. Tyler called. Uncle Tom, I wanted to say I'm sorry. For everything. Tyler, you were used. You don't need to apologize. I should have asked questions. Should have called you myself, instead of believing Dad. You trusted your father. That's normal. Can I visit sometime? Just to talk? Not to stay. I promise. Of course. He came on a Saturday. We sat on the deck, drank coffee, watched the ocean. This place is really nice, he said. I get why you want it to yourself. Thank you. Dad made it sound like you were being selfish. But you're not. You just wanted what you earned. That's right. Mom says you worked 32 years as a firefighter. I did. That's intense. I can't imagine. We talked for 3 hours. He told me about his job search struggles, his depression, his plan to go back to school. I listened. Didn't offer solutions. Just listened. I'm not going to ask to stay here, he said as he left. But thank you for not hating me. Tyler, I never hated you. He hugged me. First time since he was a kid. May 20th, Rick violated the restraining order. Sent me an email from a new address. Subject line, family. Tom, you destroyed my marriage. My kids won't talk to me. Lisa took everything. I hope you're happy with your precious cottage. Hope it keeps you warm at night since you don't have anyone else. I forwarded it to my lawyer. She filed a contempt motion. Rick got 30 days in jail, suspended on condition he complete anger management counseling. Lisa finalized the divorce in June. Called me from her lawyer's office. It's done, she said. I feel relieved. Good. Tommy, I'm sorry this happened. Sorry Rick involved you. Sorry it took me so long to see who he was. Lisa, you don't owe me apologies. You're my sister. We're good. I love you. Love you too. Summer settled in. Tourists returned. Beach got crowded. I ran early mornings, avoided afternoons. Mrs. Chen taught me to make dumplings. Tyler visited twice more. Lisa came for a weekend in July, brought Tyler and his younger sister Madison. "This is exactly what you needed," Lisa said, standing on the deck watching the sunset. "Peace." "Yeah," I said. "It is." September marked a year since Rick first called asking for Tyler to stay. I thought about how it could have gone differently. If I'd said yes to just a few weeks, Tyler would still be there, probably. Rick would be asking for more. I'd be angry and resentful, stuck in my own house. Instead, I had my peace back. Had my morning runs, my quiet coffee, my projects. Had a better relationship with Tyler, honestly, than if I'd let him stay. He respected me now. Saw me as someone with boundaries, not someone to take advantage of. The doorbell rang one Saturday in October. I opened it to find a woman in her 30s, professional clothes, holding a tablet. "Mr. Hayes? I'm Jennifer Reeves from Coastal Realty. I'm not selling." "Oh, I know. I'm actually here because your brother-in-law, Rick Foster, reached out. He said you might be interested in a property management agreement." My jaw tightened. "Rick contacted you?" "Yes. He said you owned this cottage but were considering moving, and family might be interested in renting it. He wanted to set up a management contract where his son would maintain the property in exchange for reduced rent. Rick has a restraining order against him. He's not allowed to contact me. He certainly can't make decisions about my property." Her face went pale. I didn't know. He said he was your brother-in-law, and you'd asked him to handle inquiries." "He's my ex-brother-in-law, and he has no authority over anything related to me. If he contacts you again, tell him you're aware of the restraining order, and will report him if he continues." "I'm so sorry. I'll note this in our system." She left quickly. I called my lawyer, reported the violation. She filed another contempt motion. This time Rick got 60 days, no suspension. He served 43. When he got out, I heard from Lisa that he moved to Tennessee. Tyler said Rick called once, trying to reconcile. Tyler hung up on him. "I'm done," Tyler told me on the phone. "Some bridges you burn on purpose." "Yeah," I said. That winter was quiet. I turned 65 in January. Medicare kicked in. Social Security started. Combined with my pension, I was comfortable. Not rich, but secure. I hired a lawyer to set up the protective trust my estate attorney recommended. Took 3 months, cost more than I wanted to spend. But when it was finished, my cottage was protected. If anything happened to me, if I became incapacitated, Rick couldn't claim guardianship or control. Lisa was named trustee. Tyler was a beneficiary, along with his siblings. "Why am I in here?" Tyler asked when I told him. "Because you learned respect. Because you understand boundaries. Because when you apologized, you meant it." "Uncle Tom, this is too much." "It's not. It's what family should be. People who earn trust don't demand it." Lisa visited for my birthday, brought cake, cards from her kids. "Tommy, I'm proud of you," she said, "for standing your ground, for not backing down. I just wanted my peace. You deserved it. You earned it. And you taught Tyler something important." "What's that?" "That no is a complete sentence. That boundaries matter. That you can love family without letting them destroy you." We sat on the deck, watched the January waves. Cold wind, gray sky. Perfect. The cottage still needs work. The bathroom tiles cracking. Deck needs staining again. Small things. Projects for spring. Mrs. Chen brought soup last week. Tyler called to tell me he got accepted to community college for an engineering program. Madison sent photos from her wedding. Life's quiet. Exactly how I want it. Some mornings, I stand on the deck with coffee, watching the ocean, and think about those first phone calls from Rick. How easy it would have been to say yes. How that yes would have stolen everything I worked for. I don't regret saying no. Not once. Not for a second. The ocean keeps rolling in. The wind keeps blowing. And I keep running 5 miles every morning, coming home to a house that's mine alone, grateful for every single quiet day.